this might sound cliche, get out of your comfort zone. So do what is, if it's uncomfortable for you, chances are, if you do that thing that is uncomfortable for you, you would grow to the next level. All the businesses the sales that I've been making up till this point, if I can contribute it to one factor, and this is probably sounds cliche and probably heard from a lot of other marketers as well, it comes down to the email list.
Hi everybody, it's Robert here from robertcbrown.online. Welcome to another Coffee with Robert session. I've got a terrific guest with me today. His name is Welly Mulia, a good friend of mine. I've known about him for a long time, used his tools over the years as well, and they've all been excellent. So I've got a great deal of respect for him, his integrity, and his companies, because they represent real value in the marketplace. And he's an all-round good guy with a great story to tell. His main focus these days is helping people, entrepreneurs, build their revenue through really, really effective email marketing and positioning their products online and giving you the tools to do that stuff. So he really operates most of the time at the cutting edge of everything online and does a really, really good job of competing and in a lot of ways beating some of the real big dogs out there that we've all heard about. But I'm not going to rattle on too much about that because I'm going to let him talk about himself. And also, as you know, Coffee with Robert sessions are all about the human side as well, the kind of inspirational side. Welly just didn't wake up one morning successful with a great company in every place. He's had to work really hard for it. So I know that everybody that's tuning into this channel today and watching this video is going to want to know a little bit about that. So I'm going to drink my tea now, Welly, and let you do some talking. Can you just start us off by telling the audience, you know, where you've come from, your background, what motivated you, and how you got to where you are right now?
Yeah, sure, Robert. So thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here to share some of the things that I've learned over the past few years. So I'm from Indonesia. For people in the Western countries, probably they don't really know, maybe they haven't heard of Indonesia before. It's a country in Southeast Asia. So the most popular city in my country is Bali. So a lot of Western people go there, Americans, British, Australians, they go to this Bali place, which is a very beach exotic place where a lot of Western people like to hang out. So when I say it's Bali, they know, oh, it's Bali. I thought the capital of Indonesia is Bali, but actually it's Jakarta, which is where I live. Okay. So when people say I'm from Indonesia and they go blank, and I tell them, okay, it's Bali. Oh yeah, I know Bali. So I'm from Jakarta, which is the capital of Indonesia, and that's where I'm from. But I grew up in Singapore. To cut a long story short, I even went to the university in the United States. So I had a chance of spending 4 years in the United States. And then before coming back to my country, Indonesia, to eventually, initially I started work as an employee to learn some of the skills and experience. And then I got started with this software business, initially not because of the software business, but because I was interested in making money online. As I'm sure that many of you, a lot of people are fascinated by the idea of making money online. How can people actually make money from the comfort of their own home? So this was back in 2006. That was the first time I got, I was browsing through the internet and I saw an ad about making money online, 2006. And that is how I got started with all this online business journey. But there's a lot of things that I've learned along the way. And initially it was just trying from one business opportunity to another. It's just about making money online, quote unquote, without really having a solid business plan. It's just going day by day and you know, being naughty at times, like trying to game the system. Back in the days, I would make a lot of money, via AdSense, and then trying to game Google. So we create all these massive AdSense sites. But to cut a long story short, basically that was how I got started. Just browsing through the internet one day and searching for opportunities of making money online. I came across this ad, I clicked, and I and it went down the rabbit hole, and here I am. So
Yeah.
after many, many years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge
So
crowd of people.
basically where, excuse me?
I say there's a huge crowd of people that have disappeared down a rabbit hole, that's for sure.
Yeah. So that's basically the background story of where I'm from and how I
Cool.
started in the online business. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Cool. And what have been your biggest challenges when you finally sort of settled on the idea of getting into software development? What were your biggest challenges? Were they more along the technology side of things, or people? Did you struggle to get the right people?
I would say it's a combination of both,
Mm-hmm.
because in the software business is when I started to get serious,
Uh-huh.
because that was in 2011. So I first got started in 2006. So that is around 5 years of dabbling with making money on opportunities and not really having a really solid business.
Yeah.
So in 2011, that was how our first software, we released a WordPress plugin called Profitsteam.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, it was one of the pioneers of actually a WordPress plugin being able to create landing pages. Because back in 2011, this was early 2011, there was only one or two players. I think we are the second player
Mm-hmm.
that, from a WordPress perspective, that can create landing pages.
Yes.
The first one was Optimized Press, and then us, Profitsteam. I think it was the second or third.
Mm-hmm.
To answer your question, is a combination of both people as well as technology. But I would say after so many years, I would say the people part is actually harder,
Right?
Because technology is fixed, whereas with people, people are different, right? It's not easy to control people as it is to control systems.
Mm-hmm.
Once the systems are in place, they don't have emotions, then they will run through like clockwork. Of course, things happen with the technical gremlins happen, but it's just more predictable with systems.
Yeah.
But in terms of humans, is a lot tougher to manage people.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning to this day. I will not say I'm a great people manager, but I'm always learning.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first getting started in the software business, I myself don't know how to code. Even up to this day, I don't know how to code. I know HTML, but I know how to read them, but I don't know how to code in all different languages. Right? So I have a partner with me. My partner is my CTO, so he's the one really doing the coding and stuff back in the days. So part of the technology challenge is actually solved because I have this. I know from my early days that I need to bring in a partner who knows how to code. Yeah. Because if I rely on contractors or maybe even employees, then if they were to leave the company, then what am I going to explain to my customers who have bought my product? What happens if there's an urgent bug or bugs that need to be fixed, and improvements and the development of the software, right? So from day one, I understand that I need to bring on a partner. And so that's not easy. I eventually got my partner, which is my then subscriber of mine. So he was familiar with how I operate, my values, because I was writing all these posts about sharing my experience about making money online. He was interested in making money online business. So I first give him some small tests to test, a small task. So just a simple task to see if his work ethics line up with mine. And then after a few small tests, then I find that this person has integrity and work ethics, and he knows his stuff. So that's how I got to hire my first partner, which is still my current partner today. Yeah. So in essence, if to answer your question, it's a combination of both. But if I were to choose one, getting the people part is actually harder, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I mean, as you probably know, we're big on personal development. I love business development. and we do a lot of business development work, but everything I do in the business development field actually comes from a place of personal development, because every business starts with one mind, one person. And you find that their behaviors, their belief systems will permeate all the way through that company, so that the company will end up being a mirror image of the behaviors and the beliefs of the actual owner. So the old, let me get this wrong, Sicilian saying apparently is that the fish stinks from the head down. And I love that one because it's so true. And what you've actually done, whether you did it deliberately or inadvertently, is brilliant, because I'll go back something like about 25 years, I think, when I got hold of a copy of The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, and he talks about not getting into a business where the business owns you and where you're actually ending up with a job. And what you should do is start a business where you actually can't do the work, which is exactly what you did, which is brilliant, because it means you can focus on the job of growing the business while somebody else does the necessary work in order to supply the service to other people. So that's exactly why you've had, in my opinion, a lot of the success you've had is because you're not trying to do the job yourself. And you probably weren't even thinking about it at the time, but you've done it. And exactly, if I was working with any client that was looking to get into this, the first thing I would say is get into something where you're not doing the work and where you absolutely can't do the work, so you can focus on growing the business, which is, of course, what you've done. Funny little thing too, just to wind back a little bit. You grew up in Singapore, didn't you? So did I.
Yeah.
So did I.
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
It's a coincidence then.
Casuarina Road.
How long did you spend in Singapore?
When I was very young, I left when I was 7 years old. And in the 90s, when I was in the rock business, I was singing for a band called The Sweet. And we did a tour of Australia. And on the way back, I got to stop in Singapore because we had a gig to play at the Top 10 Club. And if you go into if you ever go back there, anytime, if you go into the Hard Rock Cafe, you'll see a guitar in there with my signature on it. And I was the singer, but we all signed the guitar. Yeah. So, but it was really funny for me. I went back to Singapore, and it's so commercialized to the way I remember it as a kid. It's changed so much, but exciting place. Love it. Love it. Happy memories. Happy memories. So it's so tell me more then about, because I'm excited to hear more about what you're actually doing now, because I know you move fast, and I know that you're out there at the moment promoting BirdSend, which is your email marketing platform. Tell me more about that and what makes it great.
Yeah, so email marketing is all the businesses the sales that I've been making up till this point, if I can contribute it to one factor, and this is probably sounds cliche and probably heard from a lot of other marketers as well, it comes down to the email list, but just not another email list, but a list that you actually nurture and value them. So it's not like you're churning and burning the list, because I know that some people are doing that. So we're promoting everything every single day. Yeah. And that's not how we do it. We nurture the relationships with our subscribers. So we have a small list, but we nurture them. We make them feel like they are friends and family, and we provide them with value. So that's how I made my sales from the history since I first started in 2006. Of course, if you exclude those days where I actually tried to game the system and hacking black hat ads and sites. But once I started building my email list and run a business and then selling products, that's where all the money is at, with the email list, with all this. It's actually, this is actually not a new concept, but if you go outside the online world, it's the same thing, right? It's all about relationships with people, and people who already trust you, they buy from you. You can call people on the phone, or maybe you meet them at offline events, you talk to them one-on-one like this. It's basically people buy, you already heard of this before, from people they know and like and trust, right? Yes. So this basically the relationship online with email, it's I would say it's a very, very useful tool for leveraging our time and effort, as well as the, I mean, if you consider that uh, this world now is connected almost everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the email, you can reach people who are interested, your target audience, uh, with emails and with online systems, right?
Mm-hmm.
With websites, emails to communicate with them. So it's a very useful tool for people to leverage instead of just on the phone calling one-on-one,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe meeting them offline. With the internet, online business, especially emails, you can go from one to many, right? So if you have, let's say, 10,000 subscribers, of course, when you send the emails, you can reach that many people, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Of course, there's going to be some emails land in the spam inbox. Some people are not interested in not opening your emails. That's fine. That's all about the stats. But what I'm saying is, instead of the traditional way of calling people one-on-one, meeting people one-on-one, now you can still do that, no problem. But what I want people to think is that you can supplement your sales, your earnings using emails as well as websites, right? So that's why we got started with BirdSend, because that's also the major reason why how I can uh, arrive at this point today, speaking with you, Robert, is because of the emails that I send out, and then people buy my stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
In the case of my business, because I don't have a physical presence, so we are not a mom and pop shop, right?
Sure.
We don't have people walking into the shop buying physical products. We are selling a tool, a software, a software as a service, right? So it's intangible. So the only way people can buy is go to our website and then placing the order and entering their payment details, PayPal or credit card. There's no store for people to walk into. Since the very beginning, when I started this online business, software, WordPress plugins, or even back in the days when I was selling design services, there's no store that people can walk. It's just everything is online, transacted online. Of course, if people have questions, they can chat with us or maybe hop on a call like this. That's fine. Yeah. But eventually, most of the sales that I close are based on the email marketing, because we don't sell high ticket services. So a lot of people they are just comfortable just buying online, because it's not high ticket. It's just with software, like you pay how many dollars per month, or maybe $100 per month, which is not a significant amount of money. But of course, I do have people from time to time, they want to schedule a demo call or to talk to me. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, with this email tool, email by itself, the email marketing can help a lot of people to expand beyond their own local area, and also leverage their time to serve a much bigger audience.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's why we created BirdSend. And with the BirdSend, so we have been focusing it since actually 2 years now. December 2016, we started our first code. We first started coding in December 2016. It's December 2018 now, so 2 years already. And we released beta in April of this year. So after about 16 months. So yeah, with BirdSend, so we focus on helping online course creators, online content creators to utilize email, to engage with their audience, subscribers, and then to of course, with the engagement, ultimately you want to push your products and services, but it's not just about making the sales, but it's a two-way. So our user get value in terms of money, and then satisfaction. But of course, their students get to learn whatever, get value out of the teachings, right? Yeah. So that's where BirdSend is focused. We focus on online content creators like bloggers, as well as online course creators. So we don't, for BirdSend, it's not, because if you take a look at the email marketing tools in the marketplace, almost all of them are, I will say, quote unquote, if you want to do email marketing, whatever business you're in, I will take you. So with BirdSend, we are very, very focused on serving these online content creators, online course creators, because that's where the majority of my experience, my background is. Yes. And we realized that by focusing on a specific niche, we can serve them better so that the user interface is not as cluttered. We can provide better. We can remove all the bells and whistles, and without sacrificing on advanced features for this group of online content creators.
Oh, that sounds really
so that's how we got started with.
And where can people go to get this checked out? Because I'll put the links under, if you let me have the links, I'll put them under the video. But where can people go to check out Birdsend right now?
Oh yeah, so it's the website is birdsend.co, not .com, the .co. So without the M, birdsend.co. Bird as in the bird, send as in the sand, so birdsend.co.
Okay, great. And I'd like to shout out for Zaxaa as well, because I used Zaxaa for many years, which is, you know, a fantastic platform for running affiliates and for making your sales and even membership sites and everything else. And I think if anybody's watching this video right now is in a place where they don't know where to go, Zaxaa's got something really unique about it as well that I always loved, which is that if you have a product that, let's say, in my case, I'm aiming at the UK market, I can price it in UK pounds. I can create a duplicate of that product and sell it in America in US dollars. And it's just very, very user-friendly. And in still to date, my favorite one to actually use. If I'm doing anything myself, I'd rather be in that than anything else. So, Welly, if anybody is in that position and wants to go take a look at Zaxaa as well, where do they go for that?
Yeah, Zaxaa. So Zaxaa is a little bit hard to pronounce. So people ask me, how do you pronounce Zaxaa, Zaxaa? So I will just spell it out for you. It's ZAXAA.com. So it's ZAXAA.com. For British people, I think it's pronounced Z, right? So it's ZAXAA.com.
Gotcha.
For American is Z, for British is Z.
Yeah, I'll put the links underneath. And as I said, I've known Welly, you know, through his work. I mean, we're not great friends. We are, hopefully now we're becoming great friends, but this is the first time we've ever had a conversation. But I know him through his work, and I know he's got a lot of integrity in his company and the way he delivers things, and he takes care of people. And you know me by now, I wouldn't be suggesting you go take a look unless it was that way. So, and as you've said, you know, you've had some challenges with the people aspect of your business, which is the case with most business owners. And again, to everybody who's watching this, remember that I've got a free webinar training that you can get along to see. It might help you at robertcbrown.online/webinar. So that's robertcbrown.online/webinar, where I identify the basic 6 characteristics of somebody who's struggling in life and how to get over them, and really propel yourself forward in both life and business, because they're interconnected. You can't separate them. Okay, you need to make money while you're living on this physical earth that most of us call reality. You need money to do it to any decent level, any decent standard, and enjoy your life experience. So business and spiritual enlightenment and everything else all goes together. It runs for about an hour. And I guarantee that you'll come out of that webinar with a different expression on your face, and you'll probably look at life a little bit differently. So get yourself along there, and I hope to see you there. Welly, it's been an absolute pleasure, my friend. I'm really stoked that we've had a chat. As I say, we've kind of floated in and out and around each other now for years. So it's really great to connect and say hi. And I hope maybe, you know, somewhere down the line when you progress a bit further with Birdsend and some of the other things that you're doing, that we'll get to have another chat. And you've got me all curious now. I've got to go and have a look at Birdsend, haven't I? You should be a salesman, Welly. It's I'm going to go and check out Birdsend myself.
I'm actually right.
Yeah. So that's it. Have you got any final kind of pointers for anybody, or you know, any sort of last minute advice to anybody who's maybe starting out and getting stuck and challenged by things? The one kind of tidbit of advice that you would give them for success?
Yeah. Just now, a few seconds ago, or maybe a minute ago, you mentioned that I should be in sales, which is funny because I'm not into this. I know that sales is important, but I'm a very introvert person. So, you know, with people, they usually don't like sales, right? Which is the case with me. But the last tidbit of advice I will give to people is to do what is uncomfortable for you. With me, selling is uncomfortable, but I do it because I need to get the business running. Sometimes we do webinars. I'm very uncomfortable speaking on a webinar or even on stage, but sometimes I do it because it needs to be done. So I would say, this might sound cliche, get out of your comfort zone. So do what is, if it's uncomfortable for you, chances are, if you do that thing that is uncomfortable for you, you would grow to the next level. And that is a starting point of where you want your goals, you want to achieve your goals. Do something that is uncomfortable, starting with a single thing that you feel uncomfortable, and then growing it day by day. So you don't have to suddenly, all of a sudden, you just do something, a very big task that is uncomfortable. So how do you eat an elephant? You tackle them, you eat them piece by piece. So I would suggest that do one thing that is uncomfortable starting today. And then next month, the following months, if you keep doing it over and over again, then it becomes more comfortable. And then you can tackle on the second thing that is making you uncomfortable. So over time, you would have tackled down all these uncomfortable things that you are not going to do, but you will be very, very you will really appreciate that you did it in the first place back many, many months ago, because that's what keeps people moving. Because people are usually stuck because they don't want to do this. I'm afraid to do this. I don't want to go this. I don't want to do this because I'm afraid of getting rejections. I don't want to make sales call because I'm afraid of the people scolding at me. That's fine, because you cannot please everybody. Just move on. Just focus on those people that your target audience that wants to pay you money, that wants to listen to you. That's fine. Just ignore all the others. So
great
that's
advice.
my
Great
advice.
Absolutely great advice. Thank you for that. I know that people will get a great deal of value out of that. It's absolutely true. You can't please everybody all of the time, but certainly if you're being the best version of yourself, and you can face yourself in the mirror every morning and like what you see, that's a great start. Just be the best version of yourself. And it doesn't matter, as you go through life, you have thousands and thousands of people you come into contact with, and that's thousands and thousands of different opinions of you, none of which you can control. The only one you can control is the one you have of yourself. Great bit of advice. Thanks for that. So look, it's been swell. I've really, really enjoyed it. And I hope we get to kind of touch base with each other again in a few months maybe, and see how things are going, and have another chat just like this.
Sure, Robert. It was a pleasure having you, inviting me to the call, and I look forward to speaking with you again.
Definitely. Take care, my friend. Thanks so much, Welly. Bye-bye for now.
All right. Bye. Yeah. See you.